G'day YouTube, my name's Lance. Welcome to Bundy Bear's Shed. Well, the weather report. Look, we're early 30s, as in 30 and 31 degrees. Look, they say a couple of showers, but look, you might get a quick scud, but yeah, look, there's not much there. And it's sunny most of the time outside, but you do have the clouds come across. But yeah, it's quite humid. Now, this is the first due back after a couple of weeks away. I did have a look at doing some filming and mucking around while I was away, but we were both enjoying the break away from it for a little bit, and we looked at some of the internet and some of the motels we stayed at, and even though they had Wi-Fi, it was rubbish. Yeah, would have had to park up for a week to get a video through, so we just took a break off it and away we went. We ended up down at Bolan or Wallace Sports Ground for the Fergie Fire Up, and look, I bought the hat to prove it, and yeah, look, that was a good do. Good to catch up with people that we talked to either on Facebook or on Messenger or just on comments through Bundy Bear's Shed on YouTube. So it was fun to catch up, but we did around 6,300 and something kilometres round trip. So it was 2,000 down, 2,000 back, and looks like we added another 2,000 just buggering about. So we sort of stayed out west, and that's why we come home. It's Tuesday today. We come home Sunday evening, and I jumped on the mower for a couple of hours, and then yesterday I levelled up the mower deck and got that going and spent most of the day mowing. Yeah, we had about 100 mil of rain while we were away, and oh, the grass, a little ride-on mower, it was just flat getting through it. And with the, if we waited till the next weekend to do it, it'd just be that much harder. So we got home and I've jumped on the mowers. I've still got to sort the paddock out, it's overgrown. But oh, the growth, look, I mowed on Sunday evening, and this morning Jude and I were having a look, and there's around 50 millimetres of growth in 2 days. So that's about an inch a day. But yeah, look, we went from here out to St George, and we were going through miles, but there was bushfires there, so we got diverted, and that added about another hour and a half to 2 hours on our trip for the day. But we ended up in Nindy Gully Hotel. We pulled in there for a beer and a quick chat, and ended up popping up to St George, which sort of worked out well. Because yeah, the next morning we wanted to get away early, and we would have had to hang around and wait for the Nindy Gully pub to open to have a look inside. So it come good. Then we went down to Thallon, and yeah, there's a new publican there, and yeah, I've been there 18 months, 2 years, and he was on for a yarn, and a hell of a nice bloke, and he told us where to go down under the bridge and see some of these other paintings. I shared stuff on Facebook, on my Facebook page, Lance Maskell, and some on Instagram, but it's not all there. But yeah, there's some terrific things. He gave us a cuppa, and out comes a couple of lammies. Oh, these are free. So if you're ever out at Thallon, go and have a look at the painted silos. Ask the publican how you go down the main street and follow this track past the old railway line. And you wouldn't take a caravan down there, but yeah, look, certainly great pictures. Done by aerosols, and yeah, look, just done really well. So yeah, we went from there out through the Hebel Hotel, which is on the New South Wales Queensland border, way out west, and yeah, Jude bought a shirt from there, and then we spent a few days at Lightning Ridge. Now, Lightning Ridge, pretty rough old area. I've got sweat running down in my eyes. I'm in the shed here, it's bloody warm, and yeah, we did the run out west, and there's another little community about 40-50 kilometres out into the bush, and when you get out there, they've got these little humpy pubs, and yeah, one of them's like the Glengarry. Oh, Glengarry's the area they call it, but there was a Glengarry Hilton. There's a really nice war memorial out there, and then there's a sports club in the scrub. It's a golf club. And yeah, we got there about 10 o'clock, so we had a morning beer with the locals and had a chat and caught up on the gossip about people we didn't even know, but we know more about them than they do now. And, but yeah, but the Sheepyard Hotel was shut. But look, it's worth a drive. It really is worth a run out there. It's an interesting thing. And then we just bobbed down the inland route and ended up at Ballarat. And we stayed there a few nights. And when I was down there, Bob Wilson, he's the president of the Harry Ferguson Tractor Club of Australia. And he said, "Oh, Lance, if you're down here, come and say g'day. We're at the Lake Goldsmith grounds. The club has a shed there, and where they display. When Lake Goldsmith opens to the public twice a year, they have a theme, and all the sheds open, and they have there's two of the Fergie tractors there. They have trailers with automatic lifts to lift people in, so they can take them around the complex for a look and things like that. So a while ago they had a flood there, and a few bits and pieces got flooded, but they opened up the drains and they sort of fixed the problem. But then they've got a heap of wind turbines around the area. The blokes that were doing the infrastructure for the wiring, I suppose you'd say, for the wind turbines, well, where they'd left some dirt and all that, they'd blocked up the drains that they'd only cleared 12 months earlier, sort of thing. So they thought they were okay in the flood. Then the flood started coming up, and they went looking why, and this mob had blocked the drain off. So the bottom part of the shed, say where my floor is here, because it got flooded a while ago, they built the next part, and the next part would be, say, 2 foot higher, to pick a figure. And so everything up in the top area, this second flood didn't get done, but there was a couple of tractors they didn't get to get them out of the bottom one. So Bob said, look, instead of going to the Fergie fire up, a few members only had that weekend available to help. So Stephen, I think it's Stephen Noel, they were doing the kitchen. So they were re-sheeting the kitchen where it had got damaged down the bottom, and cladding, and doing the plasterboard. And it wasn't a plasterboard, it was like a waterproof fibro sort of thing. And look, gee, it looks bloody good. They're a talented pair of buggers. And so yeah, we went there for a visit, and Bob said, oh, they had to split 2 tractors that got flooded, and the clutches are stuck now. They just didn't think to tie the pedals down, and in the heat of the moment, I can understand that. So yeah, we hopped on one, and then David and Lindsay jumped on the other, and yeah, we split it and put a new clutch plate in and buffed it all up with the grinder and all that. So yeah, gave them a day and met some new members, and left a bottle of Bundy liqueur with them just to wet the whistle, and by all accounts it was very nice. So then the next day was the Wallace Sports Ground, the Fergie muster, the Fergie fire up, and it was the coldest day all holiday, but look, it was great. I have some footage now. I normally just take a GoPro to those events, and I sat down where I could get the Grand Parade coming past, and I was going great guns. And on the GoPro, the saved battery, the screen just goes out, and you just got to tap it, and it livens up so you can actually see what's in the frame. And one time I tapped it and I noticed it wasn't working, so I had to shut it down and boot it up again, and off it went. So there's probably a gap in the middle. So I'll have a look at that, and if it's worth tacking onto the end of the stew, I will. If it's turned out better than I expected, well, it'll be a separate video. But then when I got there, they handed me a sheet, and I had to go wandering around doing some judging. Just best Fergie with a cab and bits and pieces. So anyway, so off I went and did that for the day, and but it was okay. But I was glad I had my coat on. It was bloody chilly. But coming up the coast there, then we just took our time. Stayed at a few places, Parks and bloody Tamworth and Warwick, and and with the weather, like Jude and I are both saying, God, isn't it humid here at the moment? But out west it wasn't humid. It was lovely, and must have been Saturday evening. We had a motel at the Jackie Howe, the Shearer, the Jackie Howe, and it was across from this pub, a racing pub. And Jude said, "Oh, let's go for a walk downtown." So And my knee's been playing up like buggery, so it actually plays up worse at home. But then I'm on the mower and I never sit down at home. Where on holidays I was sitting in the ute quite a bit. So yeah, we're walking along and I said, geez, you warm the Saab, and out in front of the school there, here's the temperature, 37 degrees. And there's a silly pair of bastards out walking in it. But look, it wasn't humid, like it wasn't as bad as you think it would be. So yeah, we went for a walk and got some supplies and went back to the motel and yeah, went over the road and had a feed. But yeah, stayed at the Long Yard Hotel, the motel in Tamworth. That was a good night. We got to the pub a bit early at about probably 2:30 in the hour on a Friday, and yeah, had a few Tui's Olds, and they were going good. But anyway, we're all home in bed by 7:30, 8 o'clock. But yeah, look, great time away. But the trouble is, with great times away, you come back and the work hasn't gone away, it's just built up. So I'm home today. I said to Jude, I just got to get home and knock some of these little jobs over. We've made the little tools for the David Brown hydraulic setting gauge. I've got a couple of them. I have one to send to Shane and one to send to Barry, and I'll have to try and get that out. I've just done a bit of a film, a bit of film of the short motor I got for the Ford 4600. Now, I was going to sell it as is and just piss it off out of it and not worry, you know, one job less. But yeah, talking to Sparex, I had these short motors there, and look, we did a deal. They didn't give it to me, but they did give me a lovely discount on it. And to the extent that I thought, well, I may as well do this. Yeah, they've never had an engine featured in any videos before. It turns a bit of scrap with a bit of labour. Hello, with a bit of labour into coming up. Come on, you come up. Come on, here, up. No, she says, I'll lay down and you can rub me guts if you like, Dad. Hey, she just had a bath yesterday. Now she's been swimming in the dam, so she'll be pretty popular. And so yeah, I just took the opportunity. I thought, oh, bugger it. Then the parts I've just brought home just now, all of the parts now for the 1929 McCormick Deering engine. So I've got that to do. I've got to build a new distributor for the Gold tractor, and never a dull moment, I tell you. So I am hoping to get the gearbox out of the 65 here and do that, but I just got to work through bits and pieces as we go. So I said to Jude, yeah, look, I've been keeping up with emails and messaging and all that every night, every morning. I was doing them twice a day, and I didn't have much of a backlog there, so which is good. Ross, Alan and Nick at the shop, they looked after things pretty well there, so that's fine. It's real good. Jude's got a bit of a backlog of invoicing and all that just to run through. So, but I said, yeah, look, this can wait. I need to get home and sort some stuff and film me stew, which I didn't get time to do yesterday. So yeah, so we'll see how we go with it. So I thought I'd come up and film the stew, get that bit done. I can go up then in my little hoochie and have it editing while I go and do something else. My little hoochie's coming out okay. I've got a few signs to put up in there and things like that. And I've just bought a Ethernet over power Wi-Fi or internet extender to get it out of the house into the shipping container, because the steel walls in the shipping container acts like a Faraday cage, and without the door wide open, you've got no internet, and then you've only got slow internet. So we're going to put the main box in the house. You have to run a lead to this box from your modem, and then that uses the electricity system in the house to bring that signal into the shipping container. So hopefully it's good enough for me to do editing and a few things like that. There was a fellow looking at the business while we're away. He's looked a couple of times, we've worked back and forth quite a bit, but he's going to pull away for about 6 months or more. And I can understand he's got that much going on with his other business and staff hassles and kids coming along and all that, so it's just too much for him. And we said, that's fine, like the place is on the market, but we're not worried that it's not selling. We're actually, the longer it goes, the better off we'll be for our retirement, so we're not too concerned with that. It's just business as usual. So that's probably Oh no, it's one of those things. It's a bit of bad news, bit of good news, but we sort of treat it as good news. Oh well, you know, we'll have an extra $100,000 or extra something in our retirement package, so we don't sort of mind what we do. So that's a good thing. So look, I'll stop waffling. I'll take this up to the shipping container. I'll see if I can get that GoPro footage happening. See how much is there. I'm not sure there's going to be much there, but yeah, I was just filming away happily, but I think it had a bit of a fizzer, so we'll see. But yeah, look, good to be back. Boy, you just walk back in home and you look at the jobs and you think, I might hop in the ute and turn around and go for another run somewhere. But it would be lovely, but yeah, reality. Oh, the Land Cruiser, it's a V8 Land Cruiser. We're weighing around 3.8 tonne, and I just did the calculations this morning on around 880 litres of diesel we put through, and we went down some four-wheel drive tracks and gullies and snowy river tracks along the Snowy River, and we worked out at 14.1 litres per 100 kilometres over 6,300 k's. So that's okay. When it was new and we did an out west trip, it was just flat going out west, and we did 13.89, so 14.1, we're still close in there. One thing I noticed, I pulled up at a servo and I just had diesel, and there was no room, there was only this one Bowser, and I thought, oh look, I better top up here. Wasn't sure where the next one was going to be, and I was filling it up and I noticed truck diesel, and I thought, oh, I wonder what the difference is. So when we were out on the outback roads, it didn't seem to make any difference at all, and I topped it up with the truck diesel again the second time, and we did some hills. Well, the old Land Cruiser, she wouldn't pull the skin off a rice pudding. It was quite doughy, and I was saying to Jude, what's going on here? You know, something's wrong. Then the penny dropped. This truck diesel, like the penny hadn't dropped when I was doing it, and so I run it right down till the light come on. We've worked out from when the main tank light comes on, you know, saying you're low on fuel. On a Land Cruiser you've got around 150 kilometres worth. On the auxiliary tank, the long range tank, when your light comes on there, it goes red. You've got a good 100 kilometres there. So we run it out, then we put the premium diesel in again. Well, the difference, and Jude was in the passenger seat and she said, oh, the Land Cruiser seems to be going better. And I said, yeah, it is. Like where we were back in a gear going up some of these ranges, yeah, we were just powering across up in the top. So so that's an interesting thing. And I was talking to Steve Casale yesterday, and he had he has a Prado, late model Prado. He put truck diesel in his by mistake one time, and his mileage went from 8 litres per 100 to 11. And he ran it out, because he had it back to Toyota and all, and he ran that out and then put the premium diesel back in, and he went back down to 8. So there you go. So I've probably got a full tank of, in those figures, the 14.1, I've probably got a full tank of the truck diesel in there. Now how trucks can run on this truck diesel, and Toyota reckons if you pull the trigger and you froths a lot, it's probably truck diesel, but yeah, where he bought it, it was badged as the good stuff, and they're just being dodgy. So there you go. So I'm still around the 14 litres per 100. I'm happy with that. We've got plenty of power most of the time, except if you put the truck diesel in. But anyway, that's just how it goes. So, and Ross and I were having a discussion at work this morning, and he said he buys by price, but his 3 litre Nissan dual cab, I think it's an SD22. Yeah, he doesn't get the mileage out of that I get out of my V8 Land Cruiser, but he buys diesel on price, so he's going to do the run on the ultimate diesel and just see how it goes. So yeah, just an interesting thing. All right, look, thanks for stopping by. I'll put a few tack-ons on the end, and I've got about a week to get organised now and have a bit of content happening and do something, because I'm just everywhere I look there's jobs and I don't feel like doing any of them. So I better get my finger out. All right, see ya.
Give me 5 stars. I think that's it. This one here. Yeah, big ones. There you go. Little. See how I'm going to become a kangaroo, mate. Give me. Good boy. Give me 5 for that, please. Other hand. Okay. Bow down, please. Pop up. Obedience. Don't touch it. Don't you touch it, mate. Don't touch. Don't touch it. You want it? You want it bad, don't you? Yeah. Don't touch it. Take it gently now. You fight for that, mate. Again. Bow down again. There you go. Come here, get up. Now beg. Get up and beg. Good boy. Take the bottle again. Boy, he's smart dog. Up, give me a hug. Give me a kiss. Good boy. He's a good boy. There you go, Tim. You're a good boy. You know it's coming. Don't you dare touch it. Don't touch it. It's going to touch you, but don't you touch it. Don't touch it. On the floor. Sit. Sit. Lay down. Sit. Lay down. Lay down. Spread your legs. Don't touch it. Don't touch it. Don't you dare touch it. It's going to touch you, don't you touch it. Good boy. Don't touch it. You want it, don't you? Don't touch it. I'm going to throw this out the door, and he'll come. When I throw it out the door, that door that I just shut. When I throw it out the door, he'll come faster through that door over there. Quick. Quick. Get on the door. You're going to miss it.
Okay, we're at the Fergie shed and they've got a little Howard rotary hoe on this TEA and it's got the proper reduction box on it and everything. So you have the lever in there and it's offset. Now, until I was talking to the fellas earlier, I had no idea that you can get a rotary hoe that is straight behind the tractor and one that's offset like this one. So yeah, you live and learn. Mine's like this. Mine's offset apparently. We just got the photos out and had a look. So yeah, just something interesting. Alright, we'll come into the Fergie shed and we'll have a look. They're working away in the corner there. This all got flooded, so it's getting fixed now. So all hands on deck. We'll come up through here. Up through here, we'll try and keep the wind out. This is a little workshop. So we'll just pan around. Bit of noise going on. They're fixing a rim outside here. Yeah, we'll go and have a look at that. 135. And here's something you don't see every day. Okay, so we've got a little TEF and it tows for the grand parades the night car. So it's not on display here, we just got it outside so we can help with a little bit of work. But yeah, you got the little doors on the side. Old mate's got somewhere to sit, S-I-T, and well, we'll come up here. Looks like the wind's going to blow us out a little bit. Probably the only one they know of at least, and this is just on the TEF 20. So just have a look at that. They've got a tall Fergie over here. He's up high. Apparently this did hops. Up home they look like they do tobacco. This is a nice little display of the 35 top cover, and you can actually turn the handle to make the hydraulics lift, and there's a cutaway of a gearbox which we will have a look at. Oh, I've always been interested in doing that. Then this is a tractor we just had split, and it went under 2.5 feet of water, so I've just split it, opened up the clutch, freed that up. And while we're here, this is a little test piece that they use for display on how to spill time for a TEF20. So yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing that. But yeah, as for the shed, it's quite a big shed. This part now is up off the ground a couple of feet higher than the others. Little flash out there, so just have a bit of work and be. So yeah, Bob, Chris and myself have just done this little TEA, and the little TED over there, it got water in it too, and the clutch won't release, so it's next one to be split. And out here, the 135, it has a tyre that keeps going down, so Lindsay's out there tidying it up, getting it ready to put back together again. So interesting day. Well, this is a little something. I had a short on this, but I haven't showed it properly. And what we have here is a short engine for the Ford 4600 tractor out the back. Now, for those who know the tractor, they know that I bought it without a head years ago, and the pistons are stuck in the bore and rusted in like it was from a deceased estate. So I haven't been able to get the pistons out, and I chose not to continue with it. So anyway, my deal with Sparex, we were chatting to them about these blocks, and they said, "Oh, you're interested in doing that?" And I said, "Oh yeah, you're going to give me one?" And they said, "No." I had to try, didn't I? And they have them on their website, about $7,000, but look, they knocked a couple of $1,000 out of that for me, or probably nearly $3,000 out, just as part of our partnership sort of thing. So I said, "Oh, bugger it, you know, I've got enough in the tractor there that I can afford to do this and still come out the other end." It's the later engine block, and you can see it's got a screw-on filter there. I do have to take all my timing gears and things like that off the Ford 4600 out the back. And one thing with this block, and I just checked earlier, is the new blocks, the later engines had a 9/16 head studs in them, and mine here, this has the 9/16 head studs, but my block had the 1/2 inch. So we're going to have to do the bolt upgrade kit for this, which I've ordered this morning. And so look, when we get the tractor done, it'll be a fairly late spec engine in it. Shouldn't be any worries at all. And yeah, I'll just take you outside. Oh, actually on the pallet racking, if I zoom you in over there, that's all the bonnet and the radiators and all that. And look, I've had this for quite a few years, so I'm pretty sure everything's there. So yeah, so I'll just take you out and show you what the block looks on the other part of it. Okay, here's the Ford 4600. Now, this is how I got it. Exactly how I got it, with no head, no nothing on it. And you can see the bores are all rusted, and I played with that, but I put vinegar and a few other things down over the years and nothing come of it. So yeah, I was wondering, I had a fella looking to buy it, and he sort of hummed and hawed and he didn't get round to it. So it's a high clear, it's got 36 inch, I think it's 14.9/38 on the back, and it's got 750/20s on the front. But the panels, the back guards are a little bit scratchy, as in dinged up a bit. Yeah, I don't know, like this block's got a piece across there for some reason, I don't know why. So I have to have a look now and just see what I need to buy. The timing cover will have to come off here, and all the bits and pieces will, yeah, the timing gears and all that should come okay. I've had the sump plug out of this for years, so I'm hoping nothing's built up, but yeah, look, the opportunity was there, so I thought, bugger it, I'll just yeah, I'll just have a go with this short engine, see how we go. This isn't a collector tractor, it's a run it through the shop and try and make some money tractor. And I took the canopy off the back of the Land Cruiser, and the Bedford was just sitting here, and I thought with the forklift, I thought, well, how about I just sit that there so I can move it around, get it out of the shop, because that canopy's always a nuisance, doesn't matter where you have it. So now the Bedford has a canopy. And it sort of fits really well, but yeah, it won't live there. It's just a means of storing it out of the way that I can move out. I can run the whole truck out when I need to use this bay here.